with. Get this, see, I've been witness.
What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access. And as always, please hit that subscribe button. As y'all know, it's right there. It's free. That enables us to keep coming to you guys as often as possible with as many interviews as possible. So please, please, please hit that subscribe button, like our content, share it, talk about it, be about it, each one, teach one. And we appreciate your guys' support getting us this far. Now, today we have the honor and the privilege of being joined by someone I've been listening to for a long, long time. Mr. Lakim Shabazz, thank you for coming through, sir.
Peace, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, it's an honor. So it's so much to get through. So we're gonna just take it from the beginnings. I was always interested because you did end up putting out a lot of material over the years, and I wanted to get for the people that didn't know, with the MC Lakim and having the La and the Kim separate and the different things, what was going on with the first original early parts for your name and then shifting it over to what we know as Lakim Shabazz as we know you now?
Well, originally my birth name is Lakim, Lakeim. And once I embraced the knowledge and became a member of the 5% Nation, all I did was like take the E out my name. And that's how I became Lakim. Shabazz is a name that I took upon from studying the teachings from Elijah Muhammad, what have you. And then eventually I grew and took that out of my name. And now it's just Lakim Shabazz Allah. However, the name that I made for myself in the music industry is Lakim Shabazz Allah, and people recognize that. So, when they approach me with it, I let them know, I respect the name and all of that. But also let people know that I took Shabazz out my name over 20-something years ago. Now, hold up, maybe 30-something years ago.
I was gonna say it's more than that now. But
yeah, so about 32 years now that I took Shabazz out of my name. However, that's the name that I made a name for myself in hip hop, and most people identify with it. So, when they call me out, I respect it.
So what, at that point in your life, what made you drop that part of your name?
Just growing in the teachings. The man that started, the member of the brother who started our nation, he taught us to draw up original names. And the name Shabazz is an original name, but it's not a name that I drew up for myself. So I wanted to draw up a name that came from my mind. So when people say, where your name come from? I tell them it comes from heaven. They say, what do you mean? It came from my mind, directly from my mind.
Well, there it is.
So that's why I took Shabazz out my name. Nothing against Shabazz. Shabazz made a lot of history throughout the nation, as far as with original people. However, he made his history and I'm making mine. So that's another reason why I took Shabazz out of my name.
Understood.
Yeah, it's a very historical name in reference to the Nation of Islam and a lot of their teaching.
Right. Yeah. And including your second album, of course, which we'll get to.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yep. The title of it was Lost Tribe of Shabazz, and that's a direct from the teaching, from the message. That comes directly from a lot of what I studied from the Nation of Islam.
All right, well, we'll get to that in a bit because we got a lot to ask before we get there. But with coming out in '88, we got the Funk Tough City Records. What was the process for you of practicing and getting to the point where you were able to sign a deal with them?
Well, that was I started rhyming when I was maybe around 13 years old, and to make a long story short, when I graduated high school, that was around '86, I linked up with Biz in Cool V at a time when Biz was working on the Vapors album. And I would rhyme for them and they liked me. And I had met 45 King previously, yet we hadn't connected like on on the basis that we are now. So while Biz was working on the Vapors album, I was an eager beaver. I was ready to go. Cool V saw that. He connected me with 45 King. I'll call Mark. The rest is history.
Gotcha.
So we got the Funk. That came about just brainstorming with Mark, going to visit 45 King. The situation with Tough City came about, whereas I think Mark was already doing work with Tough City Records, and I was just rhyming. I had became the last original member of the flavor unit. We would go over to Mark's house, make all these different freestyle tapes and things of that nature. And he was shopping deals for us, and Aaron Fuchs was interested. So that's how that came about.
Okay. And I always hear so many different things about the business side of things. So for you, did you care about the business early on? Were you excited to learn the business, or were you just strictly about making the music?
No, I was an eager beaver, just wanted to get my voice heard. Learning the business came later. That was a hard lesson to learn, yet I'm glad I learned it, made me wiser and stronger. Yet at that point in time, no. It was at a time where hip hop was it was big, man. We would listen to Mr. Magic on the radio. I'm listening to Red Alert on the radio, Chuck Chill Out. And it was at a time where I just wanted to get heard, growing up being an MC, battling crews, going through all these different parties and rock. And it was a time where you just wanted to get yourself heard. I wasn't really pondering on the business aspect of it at that time.
And then what initially made you, Kool V and Biz connect so well that they thought enough of you?
One of my cousins knew that I rhymed. My cousin Lamel, he actually took me to Kool V and Biz, introduced them to me. They had me rhyme over some beats, and the rest is history. They liked me. They said they was impressed with me, and I was just honored to be around Biz and Vaughn. These are people that had videos and stuff out. I'm like, wow, I'm getting close. I'm with Kool V and Biz.
Right.
Now they working on the Vapors album. Soon as I rhymed for Biz, though, he was like, yo, he sound like a little Kane. We got to keep him with us. So I stayed with them for a minute, yet I really wanted to have something out there on the radio. And it was at a time where Red Alert would play a lot of 45 King beat snippets. He would always have a different 45 King instrumental with a 45 King special playing in the background. So I knew 45 King had beats playing, and I knew I had met him previously. And like I said, at that time, Biz and Vaughn was working on their album. They didn't really have the time to work on nothing for me. So Vaughn connected me with Mark, and that relationship stayed tight to this day. Like even throughout the process of my albums and being a member of the flavor unit and going to 45 King's house, at any given time, the whole flavor unit could be there and Biz will pop up. Vaughn to pop up unannounced, and he always came with records, and he want to battle Mark with beats. He would come down there and make jokes, and he'll pull out a bunch of 45s like, Mark, I bet you don't have this. It'd be something funky. And then Mark would come back like, yeah, but you don't have this. Boom. And, those were some good times. But Biz was always around, always there. And once their album came out, we would always get invited to all of their shows and stuff like that. Like, our relationship with the Juice Crew was like this. Like my relationship with Kane and all of them was always cool. Even now, you could go on YouTube and type up Lakim Shabazz at Big Daddy Kane's birthday party and catch a freestyle from me. Because we was tight with the Juice Crew, Well, I think, in fact, Kool V had tried to put a song together with us, but somehow, some way that didn't fall through. We had all rolled up to Marley House one time, and something happened and it didn't fall through though. But we was definitely striving to do a song. Kool V was definitely striving to bring that together. A song with Flavor Unit and Juice Crew.
Yeah, Kool V told me about that in an interview. I was shocked as to why it did not happen. So
yeah, but I love my Juice Crew family to this day. All of them.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay. So as you started like getting into the game, did you guys, you especially, did you start working with 45 King on the Master of the Game stuff first, or the Pure Righteousness first, or at the same time? What was that?
Pure Righteousness was first. Actually, we kind of knocked that album out real quick. We knocked that album out maybe in like a 2-week period. Believe it or not.
Wow.
45 King, he was like, you could record a song in one day? I'm like, yeah. All right. So we kind of knocked that album out in a 2-week period, Pure Righteousness. And then the thing with Tough City, he gave me a lot of freedom to just record. I recorded a lot of material in Tough City. So when Mark started releasing a lot of those beat break albums and stuff like that, like the Master of the Game, different little prints that he put out, you would hear a lot of me on a lot of those different projects.
Yeah.
Some of them collaborations, like you had the Flavor Unit Assassination Squad. You hear joints with me and Apache, and then certain joints was just me because I was actually signed to Tough City. I think Lord Ali Bosky was probably signed to them too for a minute.
So the reason I was interested in the evolutionary aspect of it and the chronology of it, recording wise, is because on Master of the Game and Pure Righteousness, the subject matter of your raps in particular is very different. So did you guys, especially you as the writer, did you specifically do it that way? That and how it happened? Well, why?
Yeah, definitely. Specifically did it like that. Because even though like I chose to come out expressing what I've learned far as through my culture and what I live far as the teachings through Islam. However, I also wanted to show everybody that I could just rhyme about anything. You know what I mean? So I wanted to show a little versatility, how I don't necessarily gotta latch on to a topic that's like a conscious topic or something that's pertaining to the struggles of the people. I could rhyme about a party, or I could rhyme about the young ladies, or whatever. Just a braggadocious rhyme about my skills on the mic. That's basically, you know, what Master the Game is. That's like a song where I wanted to showcase my skill.
Right. And even on Raw Dope Rhyme, I really liked that you were talking about how you were prepared for the hard labor. Because to me, it made me think like, man, this dude's really ready to get down and like do whatever he's got to do to make it. So
yeah, man, definitely.
So what made you understand that you were going to have to work hard, that it was going to be a, you know, a challenge to get to the top?
Just family values, man, and seeing people around me, like my family, seeing my mother work hard every day to provide for me, my brother, and my two sisters. You know, that instilled in me the drive to work hard. Even in school, like going through high school, I went to a school called Arts High. You had to be either art major, drama major, or music major. It was a college preparatory school. They didn't play. You had to be an A and B student. So hard work was instilled in me at a young age. Furthermore, I started practicing Kung Fu at a young age, practicing the arts. All of this built discipline in me. And if you want to achieve and be great at something, you're going to have to work hard at it. So I work hard at penning my pad to the rhyme. I work hard at making beats. I work hard at being a father, whatever I'm dealing with in life. I'm going to work hard at it so I could get the best out of it. I tell people, you only get out of life what you put into it. If you're interested in something, the more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. The less you put into it, the less you're going to get out of it. So we work hard so we can, quote unquote, sometimes play hard, how people say. Yeah, I work hard so I can sometimes play hard, because life is not a game to be played. It's to be lived to the fullest. See, when people start thinking life is a game, and then, you know, a game ends, doesn't it? You know, you could lose the game. Nah, life is meant to be lived, and live life to the fullest. So that's what I strive to do.
And
I don't look at it as a game that I'm playing. Nope. Nah, it's not a game.
Why do you think that people don't really understand that, as far as, you know, the discipline, working hard, and that you get out of some what you put into it? Because it always seems like a lot of people, generally speaking, always are looking for the quick thing, you know, and that's...
Well, that has a lot to do with, I would say it has a lot to do with upbringing. I would say that has a lot to do with, you know, society too, what's portrayed to them. You know, it's easy to take that fast route. You know, that's like I would say common sense thinking. If I could achieve this quicker, then I'm gonna do that. You know, a lot of people, and then I would say, you know, but basically to answer that question, I would say it has a lot to do with upbringing, the science of discipline, and having a sense of drive to work hard. I think that has a lot to do with upbringing, parenting. It has a lot to do with whoever were influential around these individuals in their lives. And once they become an adult, it depends on their structure in life. Some people in life are pampered. Some people ain't never had to work hard for nothing. Some people get spoon fed. So it's a lot of different things that could come into play with that, which can cause an individual to not have that drive to work hard. Yet we see through observation and through experience that hard work does pay off. So I mean, that's just clear as day, man. If you pay attention to life and things that's going on around you, you will see that the most successful people out here, they work hard to become successful. It's not an overnight thing. But as long as you're determined, if you're determined and you stay focused, you can achieve what you're striving to achieve. You just have to remain focused, stay determined, and like we said, work hard. Work hard.
So, given that pure righteousness has a lot and focuses a lot on the nation, how old were you and what happened to when you start getting exposed to it and then started adapting it, studying it, living by those principles? How old were you and how does that fit into the making of pure righteousness?
I got introduced to the 5% Nation at the age of 13. I started working on my album at 20. Pure Righteousness came out at 20. So by the time I was 20, I was totally engulfed in the teaching. And it was a eternal flame had turned on inside of me. I got introduced to the nation from my cousin Lamel. So studying the lessons and just growing up with those teachings throughout high school, that's why it was such a heavy influence on my first album.
Okay. And I remember I had already heard you, but the first time I remember seeing you was in the Pure Righteousness video. And I was shocked because I thought you would have been older, taller, whatever. But
most people when they first saw me, they was like, yo, that big, powerful voice coming up out of you. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm a small man. Some of the first men to walk this planet was my height. They said, huh? Yeah, 5'4". That 5 + 4 = 9 only represent born. Born means to be complete in its season, and it means to be brought forth into existence. So I'm 5'4", but I'm complete. Yeah, but a lot of people used to say that. They say, wow, you got a big, strong voice for such a small frame body. I'm small. My parents are small, but my mind is very large. My personality is big, and knowledge is infinite. So once I learned that, there's no stopping me, as far as learning and growing and gaining understanding. As long as I study life and all of its varying forms, I'm gonna constantly grow. So, with that said, that fire was burning in me at 20.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
A 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
There will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Your TV back with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.